and welcome to very late afternoon.
Let's be honest with ourselves, it's evening. So, when last I left off, I had basically collected one of the new folks and promptly fell asleep. So, now I am going to start getting some crafting done. So basically, we've got a dungeon that we need to deal with, and I need to figure out how I'm going to handle it. So I've got some decent idea.
You.
Time. Let's go.
Alright, so I'm gonna try to pump up the damage output of Maria, probably, as my current task. I also need to start picking up all of the books.
Nice. The opponent.
Play.
Right there.
I'm gonna pulverize you.
Dust to dust. Fight.
That was a fight? Unbelievable. Occurs to me that I don't think I actually fought those. Nah, I think I got into an encounter with one of them before. So the Ring of Disintegration allows you to get like some random stuff. But I'm gonna head over to Attorney, I think. And is that where I want to be? I think so. Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to try to do some alchemy and basically just grab some materials that I need in order to successfully do some stuff. So, first things first, I'm wondering whether I want to make an orichalcon or not. The advantage of making it is that it's the best thing I can make, and then I'll be basically done. It's a mole. Oh! Huh. Interesting. So, you know what? Fine, we'll play with it. I mean, it sounds terrible.
Hey, this is kind of fun.
This is like a...
Mission understood. Here I go.
Is this like a battle simulator type thing?
No! Whirlwind! Aiming device! Ah, no!
Oh,
Aiming device! Aiming device!
wait, I have skeleton?
Right there!
Why can't I tell? Okay. Getting wrecked by these charges.
Right there! Right there! Right there!
So I feel like the so-called long-range setup is not very good for because she's not fast enough. Why did cancel beam not actually cancel? Got it. There we go. She's just so slow that it's very difficult. You can't really keep.
Be a fighter by nature, but I never turn down a challenge.
You're not going to be able to like keep yourself far enough away in a 1v1 like that to really make any use of the range. So first they make me join, then they expect me to work. This is bull crap. It's like, what did they do to force you to join? Alright, so we've got Misty Lear. Alright, so if I don't get any other alchemists, I actually can't make the Orichalcum. So I'm gonna go to the general store. I'm gonna see what mats we have available right now. Craftsman's at the general store. I'm gonna go with you, lack of compassion. It's actually interesting because Albo's correct in terms of talking about human nature, but in terms of actual like strategy and game theory, it's much more sensible, for instance, to like if you don't have food in your country, it makes much more sense for them to establish proper trading with Aquios. And there's a lot of things where there's a win-win scenario where everyone just benefits. And it's not necessarily easy. And oftentimes if you're, you know, the put upon party, there really isn't a lot that you can do, right? This isn't like, you know, there's no excuse to be nasty at any point. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that, like, if you're talking about like overall governing strategies, it's always better to be nice to people, because it's just, oh, there we go. So triangle. That. Hello. So I've got the brooch of footwork. Now, it would be reasonably easy for me to just make some crystal. I'm going to take a look at the robber.
Hey there, how's new product development going? The continental map has a present rival is a future friend. I bet you're curious.
So this Macwell guy is where I'm gonna take a look. So if we get this Macwell guy, we can easily make so we can go talk to him. I think we might actually be able to hire him right now. If we can get him, then we will have access to 2 alchemists with a combined value of 87, which we could then pair with just about anybody to pop us over 100. And once we're over 100, we can make the orichalcum, which requires 98. Now, we won't be able to make the alchemist stone, which would make future creation substantially easier, but that's okay. Also, another item that I should look into creating. But luckily, once we get to the point where we've got the stuff done, we should be pretty well set. The chapel. So the library is where? It's over here. Oh, remember. Hey, Mirage. Be a race against death. Well, I guess they could ignore it if they have their shields up. But yeah, the orichalcum might be slightly overkill. But that's okay. That is okay. So we're going to pimp out Maria, I guess. The one problem is that, like, when you look at stuff that's like the difficulty class of making a lot of stuff, it's not terribly well balanced. Like, I can't make any decent weapons right now. I guess I can make a halfway decent weapon for Cliff. I think I can give him like plus 200 attack power. But hey, Johnny. Alright, so I'm actually gonna move.
Hey there, how's new product development going? Whoa, you gonna invoke the power of law?
Alright, so I'm gonna bring Misty Lear. How do I change your location?
The continental map has been updated. A present rival. You can look up products that have been invented so far. A present rival is a future friend. I bet you're curious. You can check the cities and dungeons that dot the continent.
Nope. How do I change your locations?
You just worry about product development. We'll take care of distribution, okay?
Huh. Do I have to talk to them? To move them? Well, I think I have to probably talk to them to move them. That would be my guess, which means that I'm going to have to go to the other city and then come back. Kind of a clunky way to handle things. Assuming that's even the way that it is handled. But that's okay. So, we will go ahead and make ourselves some orichalcum. I think what I'm going to try to do is just I'm just gonna make it, and then I might just synth it directly onto a weapon and not worry about it. See, the thing is that once you can make orichalcum, making a weapon is like, okay, I can increase the attack power of this weapon by insert relatively marginal impact here, right? Same thing for making like an accessory. I can just make an accessory that does a relatively small amount, maybe like plus 30% to my stats or whatever. But when you're in the early game, you can make these things like these alchemy materials, and the alchemy materials, because you can duplicate the effects on them. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so I can actually move him to the middle of nowhere. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so I should be able to do Orichalcum now. But anyway, since you can duplicate it up to like 8 times, you can have, as soon as you get access to attack power plus 10, it's like, oh, big whoop, who cares about attack power plus 10? But you can then turn that attack power plus 10 into attack power plus 80, right? So an attack power plus 10 seems really weak, but it's actually stronger than the difference in tiers between weapons for the most part at this point in the game. Then if you, as soon as you get into the stuff that's like the plus 50, if you add 8 of those effects, I mean, you've got a massive amount. That's like an entire weapon's worth, like a really, really overpowered weapon's worth of stuff. So anyway, that gives you an idea of why it's actually really hard to get a balanced, like, okay, I'm not breaking the game, but I'm also not but I'm also able to handle the thing that I'm trying to handle right now. So what is the cost for this? I think the cost for this is several thousand. I think this is it. And he's asleep, so I'm actually just cancel immediately. Okay, we're gonna let this run twice because we need 98 and we barely have what we need to even try it. But anything that's on this list we can technically make. So I'm gonna try to just make some of the other stuff as well. I'll just sort of start randomly making stuff. The other thing is that I can't make, for instance, it would be kind of cool to make that. So that actually worked. It'd be cool to make something like mithril, because mithril is a really interesting material. But I actually can't make mithril. Oh, I think increasing time also, by extension, increases costs because of the way that the thing handles the timing for it. Doesn't tick. And then okay, so I've made a bunch of stuff.
Hey there! What? Are you sure this is the... Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation. Select the item. Are you sure this is... Okay then, I'll have it evaluated.
Oh, these are pretty good.
Here's the tentative evaluation. You're such a... Are you sure? Okay then, I'll have it evaluated.
You're such a hard worker.
Here's the tentative evaluation. There isn't anything for what...
A man-made life. It's a very strange universe where a underdeveloped planet is creating artificial life forms. But hey, I mean, when you've got magic, you can do all sorts of crazy shit. Okay, so the other thing is, I have the technical capacity to make a new weapon with Maria. I don't know if I actually want to or not. Oops, I just passed it. Luckily, it looks like the thing that I'm looking for is the only thing that's in the 5,000 mark round. So it should be easy to ensure that I'm getting it. I could be wrong. What the hell is that? But unfortunately, since I'm just by the very skin of my teeth getting by, I don't have the ability to just leave this running for a couple of iterations. So any given time, the probability of me actually getting this successful is pretty low. That is an angel stone. It's not what I wanted. I'm actually curious about this. I'm gonna try making this. I'm just gonna let it run once. I'm actually gonna let it run twice because it didn't really, the quality didn't drop very much. Yeah, there's, technically speaking, there's nothing that's too difficult for this group to make. If it's on the list, it can be done. So let's try the 5244. I'm actually gonna try this 1100 one. I don't remember what it costs to get the one that gives plus 100, but I'm happy getting the plus 100 as well. Defense plus 50. That's actually really good. Because plus 50 defense, you can just stack the shit out of that. And you can very easily trivialize the damage of most things. I might be able to basically get... I might be able to just get myself set up for life with that. Well, not for life, but for the main plot. Okay, this is pretty high. This is... not something I can complete at that. But unfortunately, I don't have enough to make what I'd like to make. $49.59. Let's do it. I unfortunately can't make any of this stuff comfortably. Anything that is over about 90 is going to be very, very difficult to make. Even if I'm sitting at full capacity. I think that I'm best off actually just exploring these lower options, because I think that I need to, well, I think that I'm better off trying to invent the plus 100 one and just refining that. Brownie stone is pretty cool. Because while I technically can make the orichalcum, since I'm not planning on maxing it out anyway, it might actually be faster to do it this way. I just unfortunately don't know what the general cost range is for what I'm looking to do here. I'm gonna try something in the 1100 range. So I made some diamonds. But yeah, a lot of the IC stuff, excuse me, is actually sort of like hidden behind specific characters, which is unfortunate. But yeah, unfortunately all these homunculi are causing problems. Oh, there we go. So we got crystal, which is plus 50. I guess we technically... I think we technically already had that. Okay, so we're gonna go to... Invention info.
You're such... Are you sure this is the I... Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation of the item. You're such a... Are you Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation of the file is... Are you Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation. You're such a hard worker. Are you Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative... So next... Are you Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation. There isn't anything.
Alright. So that's all set. We're going to go save, and then we are going to do our first sort of baby weapon fusion, I think. Do I really want to do it with a plus 50 item, or would I rather... make the, at the very least, the plus 100 version. I am concerned by the fact that a lot of my characters are going to be getting one shot. Because I feel like that just making the plus 50 item isn't necessarily going to be enough for what I've got going on. You're asleep. I don't like that. That's actually okay. Oh. Okay, see, there's both an alchemist stone and a philosopher's stone in this game. So this whole time I could have been having that. So one thing that I want to do, there's a specific thing that I want to write. Let's see. She is 22. He is... That was a bad writing skill. So all the skill books are around the 1500 range. So the book that I'm looking for is not that one. The book that I'm looking for is the one that teaches the thief skill. I don't remember what it's called. Are these guys have minus cost modifiers or something? But basically, I want to teach it to somebody, and I think that a reasonably good target for it might be Maria, because... Ooh, combat training. That's actually a good one. Because I can slap combat training on a character that isn't really that, important in fighting. And if I do that... then I'll be able to get extra experience and basically have it be free. Okay. Fortunately, and this thing on? There's the possibility that I don't actually. There we go. Got it. So we need to make sure that we give that to somebody. Do I want to give it to them?
Hey there! You're such a hard worker. Are you sure this is the item? Okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Here's the tentative evaluation. What will you be? Are you okay then, I'll have it evaluated. Okay,
I do.
I'll have it evaluated.
I'm going to leave it on her because I don't really want to have to do an entire setup just for doing loot item. But at the same time, I'm going to be wanting to use it later on. So we can now give this skill book to Maria. Combat training. Cliff. Cure condition. I don't know what that does. Okay, so. Okay. So we got that set up. So I'm going to take a look at her now. Because aiming device is really easy to knock people over with. Oh no. Shit. Okay, I need to take a look at this, because I was under the impression that this was a passive. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm not that concerned though. Okay. Compile back in here. And we need to do some other stuff. I could just keep writing a few more of these. So the basic issue is that I need to put it on an ability that will launch. And so we'll see. I don't really necessarily understand how it works. Okay, so we're going to So it actually requires just smacking them while they're in the air. Let's see. I didn't actually check the thing that I was looking to check. The loot item skill isn't super relevant right now. I just kind of would like to have it put on someone so that I can start getting myself in the right direction. So I actually do have the alchemy stone, I think. I do. So I've actually been getting pretty unlucky here. I have a 20% higher success rate than I thought I did. And there it is. That's so funny. I look at my inventory and I'm like, I do have this thing, and then the game's like, oh, whoa. I don't know what you're talking about. I was letting you make this thing the whole time. Don't look at me. Okay, so we've got our orichalcum, and it has survived with Fury on Incap as well as the other thing. So what I'd like to do is take a look at, do I want to engineer a new weapon for Maria, or do I want to just use the one that she's got? I think I'm just gonna synth this on what I've got. Okay, so I need to expand synthesis into here. Oops, it is. And I don't think I want to bother with Survive on Fury. We're just making the best thing that I can get. I guess I should probably patent that orichalcum. Just a thought.
Are you sure this is the Okay then, I'll have it evaluated.
Gravity shielding. And so eventually these will also be available in stores.
Anything for which you...
But this item will actually get us all the way into the post-game. Bum, 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 bum. So we're looking to get one success here. So the small pulse needle now is all set up. I need to put engineering stuff in here. And so the goal here is just to replicate that effect. Alright, so I could keep doing this, but I'm not going to yet. I'll slap more of this stuff on there if I feel like I need to later. So rather than the War God symbol, I should probably have... The other thing I could do is I could just pump the crap out of this and then put on the Gutsy Bunny. Okay. I think that's probably a bad idea for now. I do feel like the UI is not amazing in handling this kind of stuff. Like, you can't easily see what kind of parameters things have while you're hovered over them in certain menus. Like, in some menus, you press this button, in other menus, you press this button, and then in other menus, it just doesn't work. Like, there's no valid way to look at that statistic. So, we're gonna head back to that dungeon. And now that Maria has some ungodly amount of attack power. Now, bear in mind that I could increase her attack power by another 3,000 if I wanted. So we could be looking at absolutely, like, out of control damage right now, but I'm not gonna set that up quite yet.
Let's find worthy opponents next time.
We will concern ourselves with that later. Yeah, so the thing is that what we want to do, since we have to basically hit the enemy while they're being juggled, we basically want to put the loot item skill on someone who we don't necessarily need to have stuff on. Fate is actually probably a good choice, because if we make Fate have like a defensive setup, then he can basically just run around tanking, and the rest of the party can deal the damage. And if I have Maria launching things into the air constantly, he's going to be getting hits on them while they're in the air.
Let's bring it on! Fight?
So we're going to pop into this dungeon. I think we should be okay now. The damage, or so the HP values that I was looking at for like the random encounters seemed like something that I can handle if I'm doing a couple thousand damage with my primary attacks. Yeah, the thing that I don't want to do while I'm getting myself to the point where I can technically beat this dungeon is I don't really want to get myself to the point where I just completely trivialize it and then trivialize all the content for the rest of the game. I could just unequip the weapon that I've got on, but I feel like that's not the optimal thing to have to do.
I let my guard down.
That was a fight?
save the game. Now, while I can beat the fights in here, I don't think that I want to engage in too many of them. Because while they're technically winnable, that it's a technicality. Like I can deal the damage, but I think that it's going to be very easy for me to get burst down. So I'm going to try to avoid taking unnecessary damage. I'm also not going to worry too much about the map completion for now, because I think that can wait. I'm not super concerned about being really completionist right now because of the fact that oh, what's the word? I'm gonna definitely have to replay on the higher difficulties, so I'm not that concerned with being a completionist, but I would like to complete maps where I can, just for the sake of it. This one more down. So basically the place that I'm trying to get right now is the southwest corner. I believe we are here. So, Maria should have enough damage now that she can successfully fight this boss.
This time it's for real.
Okay, we're going to cast power up on her. Shit.
Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Healing. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. No!
That's a problem.
Somebody. Aiming out. Need medicine.
Oh god.
Somebody.
Okay, so luckily I do have convert damage on, which means that I can just kite forever.
Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device.
Not too shabby. Let me punch this coming out.
Aiming device. I won't. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device.
But you can definitely see that this place is pretty out of control. I just killed myself. Okay, well, that's a problem. That was a lot of damage coming out. There was no reason for me to handle it that way. I get greedy and I want to cancel into the first attack. And you can't get greedy when you're fighting something that is very far away from the save point and very, very, very strong. Let's see how quickly we can down these things. I want to basically get an idea. That's super fast.
Worthy opponents next time.
So 1300. EXP is quite a lot of EXP. One thing that I could do, if I wanted to, and this is potentially a very good idea, is I could actually give Fate a super tanky defensive setup by basically taking the God, what's it called? I think it's the diamond. By taking the diamond and affixing it to his weapon, I could give him just an overwhelmingly high amount of physical defense, because I could add 8 of those, which is plus 400 defense, which is like double or triple what I'd get from the best armor I could make. So I could do that, and then just have him stand there tanking everything while Maria is blasting things from range. And honestly, I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but it's not one that I want to implement quite yet. The one concern is that I'm not going to be able to get battle trophies for any of these battles, because I mean, maybe I can get the no damage one if I actually play well, but that's that's not likely. But I can. I don't think there's any way that I'm going to do the beat this in under 1 minute thing, because I don't have enough damage for that, because I don't really want to invest that heavily. So I'm going to change his setup, because whoa, fury expenditure triples. You know, this is interesting because he's not actually going to be useful for dealing damage. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for both of these people. I'm going to turn off Berserk for him. And let's see here. And we're turning this off as well. I don't think he needs the mana regen necessarily. But it does give him other stats, so that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna get in here.
You've gotta be kidding!
So that's how it's gonna
I'm gonna try casting protection on both party members. I don't think I can get them to the point where they can really survive. That's not gonna happen. It's time to power up.
Power up!
Healing!
Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device!
Oh, that hurt.
Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! I won't miss! Aiming device!
my strength when I need it.
Aiming device! Aiming
Shit.
device!
Okay, so we're just gonna run around in circles.
Aiming device! Aiming device!
Oh, right, that you can consume all my MP.
Aiming device! Aiming device! I won't miss!
Jesus. Okay. I thought that I had the range for that, and I obviously was completely wrong. Yeah. It's a rough fight. Not because it's a particularly difficult enemy to, like, dodge the attacks of, but just because it's a very long fight, and you are going to have a tendency to play sloppy as the fight wears on. Well, I
Okay, bad situation.
Aiming device!
okay, well, okay.
You're not gonna get away with this! Just scatter me! You're in for it now!
You know, it'd be really nice if I would get the Fury
Scatter me!
while I'm
Nice.
fighting the boss. She hasn't gotten the Fury off of when fighting the boss yet, so... So we saved the battle trophy, but I'm actually going to reload because I don't really want to try and fight without these two. At the very least, I need them as Fury fodder at the start of the fight. Did I set him up properly? For her, I feel like it's really important to have convert damage up. I don't think there are any chests on this level. I think we have to beat the first boss in order to get access to any of the chests. So, we'll see what kind of cool stuff is in here. I have not looked and checked at what's actually available in here. I'm pretty sure that there are 3 boss fights in here, but that's all I know. I know there's multiple boss fights, which is really badass, and I know that I'm getting my ass handed to me. What I don't know is how long it's going to take to kill this first boss. I don't even know, for instance, whether it's susceptible to MP kills or not. But yeah, I could pimp out Fate's defense. And maybe I should. Because he's dying really super fast. I feel like if he was... If he was having an easier time, then he would certainly increase the duration of the fight that I can actually be getting decent damage out. Because at the beginning of the fight I can do some pretty decent damage with Maria, and then relatively shortly all of my characters start dying, and I can no longer do any decent damage because I'm kiting the whole time. So...
Careful!
This time it's for real.
Power up!
I can't see it.
Fight!
Aiming device! Uh-oh!
Is that all you got?
Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device!
That's my strength.
Healing!
Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device!
Is that all you fight?
Aiming device! Aiming device!
Nice!
Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device!
You just healed yourself, friend. So this might only be susceptible to MP death. Whoa, we got it! Okay, and the other characters didn't even die.
Time.
They managed to keep themselves alive. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't get the thingers for it. It's like, oh shit, I'm getting out of here. And it looks like there is at least one treasure chest up top. But there we go. So now, all we have to do is find our way back to the entrance. And I think that that is what I'm going to make my priority right now. We're going to get all the way back to the entrance. Pretty happy about taking out that boss.
This time it's for real.
If we lose here, it's going to be so sad.
Aiming device! Aiming device! I won't miss! Aiming device!
You've gone too far.
That's not good.
Aiming device!
The problem is that they have a tendency to Act like dick. So I can kill those.
Aiming device. Aiming device. Uh-oh.
I don't think these things have a huge amount of HP.
Aiming device. Scatter beam. Dust to dust.
Me and her sigh at the same time, like, whew. We made it. Okay, this is the wrong way. This is so terrifying. Because if I mess up any of these fights, then I'm completely boned. Oh god. Whew. And these things all have ranged attacks, so it's actually quite easy to screw myself over here. I just need to be careful. I don't want to get into any fights that I don't have to, because we need... Shit. Oh, this way. Luckily, since I did follow the pathway reasonably... Oh shit. Oh god, this is not good. This is a very, very tiny area. Okay. So we're back upstairs. And it shouldn't be too difficult to dodge these. Oh god. Hey. We made it out. Okay. So we can save the game, and now we can start exploring. Well, we can save the game, and then we can go take a nap. And then we can start exploring. Okay, so... And we're gonna get a pretty decent amount of experience from these fights. This is intense. So we got our way through the very beginning. Oh, Jesus. We got through the very beginning area, and now we can wander all the way back to town to go take a nap. And from there, we can start working on the next boss. But before we do the next boss, we're now going to try and actually explore this place a bit and get some of these chests. Because we have access to all these chests, we need to be going up and down and all that jazz. It actually occurs to me that there might be another entryway to where I'm trying to get to that's easier than the way that I'm trying to go. But one thing that I do find cool is that this this side quest that I'm on actually has an achievement now for completing it, because it's actually super hard to complete. The item that you get in here isn't amazing. It's not terribly great. But I don't want to go into the mayor's house because I think there's a PA in there. But I don't think I can rest there. I think I need to go somewhere else to rest. Which is a serious problem, actually. Having to walk all the way through like 3-4 zones just to take a nap is kind of a big deal. It's too bad. I missed out on like 12,000 experience on Maria from that fight. If I had actually had the triple EXP thing active. God, that would have been nice. Oh, so delicious. There's an event? Oh, fuck. It's here? I thought it was in a different place.
Albel! What do you think you're trying to pull? That's dangerous!
It's not like I was trying to hit you. I was just testing my aim.
Just testing your aim?
Shut up and come over here, fool.
What's going on? What is it? It's the middle of the night.
So, you hate me?
What kind of question is that?
Just answer the question, fool.
All right.
This is a problem. Am I gonna want to reload for this? I don't want this character in my party, but at the same time, from an RP standpoint, I actually have a difficult time justifying saying that I hate you. So I'm basically trying to just avoid this PA entirely, and unfortunately it's in this town, not the town that I thought it was. So, whoops. Huh. I'm gonna say not really.
Not really.
Why not? I've hurt lots of your friends. Shouldn't you hate me by now?
Yeah, but that was not your intention, was it? It was war, after all. It's true. It is kind of scary how obsessed you are. I guess you're one of those guys who has to prove himself by fighting. But the idea of only trying to be strong, it's something I can't do. And it's something I can't even relate to, but I don't think there's anything wrong with someone else living that way. And I have a feeling you won't just hurt people for no reason anymore.
But I could attack you right now, just like before.
It's all right. I trust you.
What a happy little world you live in. Dream on, fool. Dream on.
I think Albel's a really interesting character, actually, because, like, he's not a sadist. Like, he's called Albel the Wicked, and he calls people maggots, and he's very, like, antisocial, right? He's constantly talking down to people. But at the same time, he doesn't seem to be evil. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and reload. The problem is that you have a very limited number of characters that you can get in your party, and I don't really want Albel. Like, I don't want him to be in my party, so that said, I mean, this is way more narratively satisfying. I feel like if you don't get Albel in your party, it kind of feels like you're leaving that plot thread hanging, right? Because you have these PAs where you talk to Albel and you get an idea of what's going on in his head. Do I don't... But the problem is that I really just don't want him in my party in the long term, right? As opposed to other people that I have the option to get. And that's the major problem, is that there are certain characters that I could do without having in the party at all. But it's so narratively satisfying to come to the end of his plot. Yeah, no, I'm gonna reload. It is narratively satisfying, but it's not what I want to do. So, okay, you know what? We're cheating. I'm a lazy person. I'm not walking 4 towns away because I guess I could check if I wanted. I'll take a look.
You've got to be kidding!
Sorry, just gonna put a ring around.
Next time.
Okay. So, let's see. So my plan is I'm just gonna go through the Mosul Dunes. I was really surprised there. I do apologize for triggering that cutscene and then being like, oh well, I guess I have to reload. And the funny thing is that I was right next to a save point, so I could have just saved before resting, but it did not occur to me that would be where it was, because I was 100% sure it was in a different town. So, if I can't rest at the inn in this other town either, because both of them are triggering a PA, then I'm just gonna have to use an item or something to get my people back alive. I haven't used any consumables yet, as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure that I haven't used any on the menu, and I haven't used any in... I know I haven't used any in combat. So because of that, I'd like to keep up that trend, because anytime I start with a restriction, I try, even if I'm not like doing it as a hard restriction, because I didn't put any hard restrictions on myself here.
What a pain.
You know, it'd be great is if I actually got myself killed here. Skeeter bean.
You've got to be kidding! How do you like that? Scatterbeam! Ice Coffin! Scatterbeam! Ice Coffin! Aiming Ice Coffin! Aiming device!
Oh, that just goes right in front of them.
Aiming device!
I thought that Ice Coffin actually showed up on you, not on the location that the enemy was.
You've got to be kidding!
Fighting all these fights, and there's a decent chance that I'm just going to be reloading. Who needs cancel combos? That was really cool, though, that you had... So... Okay, this is great. So it turns out that we didn't need to worry about that after all. We're all set. Okay. So we can now continue on. But it's really unfortunate. There's... when you're playing the Star Ocean series, I feel like the Star Ocean series
Let's get this over with quickly.
puts some unfortunate limitations on party size that are not necessarily I don't know, like they don't necessarily make a huge amount of sense. Particularly when you consider that they'll often have characters that are, well, I say often, but in this one at least, there's several characters who join the party automatically who absolutely should be optional characters, because it doesn't really make any sense to have them automatically join the party. But anyway, I feel like there are certain characters in this game who are optional that are so incredibly important from a plot standpoint that I find it very strange that they're optional and not just required. While at the same time, there's other characters who automatically join you who don't make any contribution to the plot whatsoever. And it's entirely possible for them to just show up. Like, they just will randomly appear in the plot, and it's like, wait, who are you? Why are you in my party? And why are you in my party permanently? Like, why can't I insert this other character who's much more valuable to the plot? Like, for instance, Albel makes a lot of sense in the plot, and it feels unfortunate to leave his plot thread hanging. But there's other characters who are even more central to the plot who are optional characters. Like, they're not guaranteed to stay in the party. And it's just really unfortunate. And I'd say that technically you don't really need to pick and choose between, like, critically plot important characters, because you have enough slots for the plot relevant characters. But if you have a single character that you want to pick up who's interesting, that you have a preference for, who isn't plot relevant, then you can't pick up all the plot relevant characters because you have exactly enough slots for every plot relevant character. And it would just be nice to be able to pick and choose between all of the characters that really don't have a very large impact on the plot, and, like, you don't really need them in the party. Okay. So there's nothing around that side. The problem with exploring too much on the top is that I don't want to feel like I've explored more on the bottom than I actually have. So, ooh, somebody... I want to take a look at this. I want to keep an eye on this because I need to get loot item.
Hey there! Preparedness Happiness now saves grief later.
Excuse me.
A new product
Oh.
is on sale.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I'll figure out who I want to bring during all my other playthroughs. So I'll try to bring all of the characters eventually. Ooh, shiny. That is suspicious. There's gonna be something completely uninteresting like that. I don't see anything else of interest on this level. This second area seems to have a huge amount of stuff in it. By which I mean ramps. Okay, that was an interesting little inlet, but turned out to not be useful. Okay. I'm not going to worry about getting map completion in here for now. It might actually be a reasonably easy place to get map completion, because a lot of the edges are not actually edges. Because you can go to both the bottom and the top. And whoa. Is that a save point? No, that was the... I remember. Did the lowest just go through the floor? I think it did. It's pretty badass. How do I get up there? Interesting. I might have to break that and bring it down. Okay, so this is largely explored. Oh shit. I'm an idiot.
Doesn't look too good.
Okay, so I can blow these up very quickly. Shit.
Worthy opponent.
Yeah, that was a really dopey move on my part. I'm gonna swap to this. I don't usually make those kinds of mistakes, but because of the fact that they're on both the top and the bottom, I allowed myself to get confuzzled. Whoa. So you can break those. What those do. So I got some smithery materials. shit. Hello, friend.
An attack from behind? Nice!
Luckily. Oh, Jesus. That instigated him. How much HP did you have left? Okay, so we can't... Jesus. Blew them both up so fast. Holy shit. Okay, well, that's the thing that happened. Okay, unfortunately, I'm a dope. Problem is that I need to get out of the deep freeze effect. $4,000 EXP. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if this will work. I'm actually gonna go downstairs again. Doesn't seem like there's too much of interest over here.
You gotta be kidding!
There's two of them. Oh, I just got frozen, so I'm good. Well, so they have the ability to freeze, and we didn't actually find anything terribly interesting while we were down there, which is good, because if we had, then we would have just lost it. I do think I might have an idea of where I'm supposed to go, though. There was an area. There was an area I had access to before. I'm gonna see. If it now goes somewhere. Because before, the first outlet was basically just a dead end. But I'm thinking that it might be that now it will actually be useful. What I'm actually going to do is I am going to set up combat training for both of these people. It doesn't actually drop their defenses. I mean, it does a little bit because it is going to use up more of their fury. which you can use for AAA, but I don't think the AI is currently set up well enough to use that anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get to... See, this pillar here is, I think, the pillar that I was looking at just a minute. But I can't break this pillar. So I wonder how I'm supposed to get there. Okay, so it was worth a check, but now it's time to get where I'm going. So we're heading over to the far west again, and this time... Actually, I'm gonna break this. Just checking. Alright, so now we can go into here. Now this is an area that before didn't have any apparent use. We can hope. Star Talisman. Okay. Star Talisman seems like it might be useful. Star in it. Okay, that is pretty bad. But I think I can invent it. Yeah, baby.
Sure this is the item? Okay then, I'll have it evaluated.
This isn't actually bad.
Here's the tentative evaluate.
It's actually very useful for MP tanking, which is a thing in this game. So MP tanking is basically where you just get an overwhelmingly high amount of MP so that you can regen faster than you lose MP. Unfortunately, I still do not have... Oh, this must be it. Maybe not, but it looks promising anyway. Looks like a promising dead end. Okay. Excuse me. So where do I need to go? So we got synth materials. Oh shit. Where is it? This goes back to the boss from the beginning. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Trading card EX6. Okay. I will admit I was expecting some somewhat better rewards. This place. I wonder what the trading card does. Okay, so that's the key item anyway. So going up here doesn't do anything for me. Try going up here. I'm just in a position where I don't actually see. Yeah, I'm supposed to do it. Like maybe breaking the place. So over there is some random item that I probably don't need. So how do I get up to here? I do like that I can see all the enemies as long as I've got the thing. I don't have a limited range on it. we're gonna go over here. I don't think. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Completely lost. Maybe through here. So, I didn't want to run into that thinger. So rather than get hit by the will-o-wisp, I got myself smacked by the pillar. So I need to actually pull out of here. Oh shit.
What? An attack from behind?
It's an ambush! Somebody!
That's my strength when I go.
How do you like that?
Scatter!
Shit. No. No, no, no. It reached way faster than I was expecting it to. Oh, fuck. And then I ran into the wall. Oh my god, if I get myself killed here.
It's an ambush!
Gotcha. Whew. Okay, well. Okay. And then so I found something that seems relevant, but I don't see what I can use it for. I'm actually going to do this. I think I can walk on this side. I cannot. There's a little tiny rock there. Where the hell am I supposed to go? We've got the map 66% explored. That was a move on my
An
part.
attack from behind?
It's an ambush!
Nice play!
Scatter beam! Dust to dust! Scatter beam! What a waste of time. Let's
nice if I had somebody who had the revive spell.
Gotta be kidding! Not good!
I ran myself into a wall.
Deep freeze! Silence! Deep freeze! Deep freeze! Just down! Ow! Silence! Deep freeze! Fight! Still. Ice puffin! How you like that?
That was
How
dangerous.
you like that?
Sometimes when I'm
Ice puffin!
like trying to
Ice puffin! Amy, freeze! Uh-oh. Ow!
damn it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How you like that? Scatter beam! Scatter beam! How you like that? Huh. Scatter beam! Scatter beam! Be a fighter by nature, but I never turn.
So, I almost got myself killed, but didn't, so got 66% of this place explored. There has to be an entrance to some other location that we should have access to. And the big question is, how do we access it? I'm clearly missing something. Now, it might be related to those crystals on the ground. It's kind of hard to say.
Let's do it! How you like that? How you like that?
Double.
Time. Let's go.
So,
Gotta be kidding! How you like that? How you like that? Scatter beam! Uh-oh. How you like that?
oh well, I'm gonna
How you
die.
like that?
Oh my god, freeze. Freeze OP, man. So, what do I want? Thing is that I don't actually know how useful they are. It's like a... Let's go there or heaven. Heaven, good. On the left side here. Blueberries. You know, it occurs to me. No, that's not. No.
Don't let your guard down.
I'm probably gonna die here.
Freeze! Aiming device!
Yep. Let's see. I wonder how to get through here. I wasn't really expecting to run into a problem with me not actually understanding how to finish.
Don't let your guard down.
Nope. That escalated quickly. So much damage. Okay, yeah, I guess it's probably worth it to get the rest of my party back. I'm very curious about this door. Bet I need to head back to Serperio and heal myself. Preferably not run into absolutely every enemy along the way. So, how do I complete this dungeon? I think the place that I'm looking for is probably somewhere in the second room. Unless I'm supposed to have some item that I don't have. I don't think so. I tried using the light stone. The light stone didn't do anything. Will you teleport? How difficult those two are to dodge, in large part, comes down to what they're doing when you reach them. Okay, so... Where to go?
Bring it on!
Aiming device! Scatter shot! Aiming device! I got it! Let's find worthy opponents.
Let's find worthy opponents next time. These trash were the mere vermin that are not worthy of my time. I don't know why I gave her that accent, but you know, it works. Well, we're gonna go in here again. Now this time, we're going in here with most of the area explored already. So our goal now is to figure out which specific places I have not been to and get to them. Okay, so I've been there. I think that might be what I'm looking for. I think I need to kill that enemy. That thing that's flying really fast, I think that's what I need to deal with. I need to catch it. This is that. No. That's just one of those circle things. Okay, so... it's not that. Because I thought that I saw two different types of those circle things, but I think that I was wrong. Looks vaguely like a face. I can't interact with it though.
Give me a... not good!
Hammer of fight!
Sidekick!
That was a
That bonus gauge accelerates very quickly. $160,000 bucks.
This time it's for real.
That was toast.
Let's find worthy opponents this time.
I see absolutely nothing that looks promising here. There's no places on my map that are just begging to be filled. There's a couple of places that are weird. So this thing is strange. I guess I'll go backward to the boss area. Because that area I think is somewhat self-contained. First I'll go here. Is there anything interesting here? There's a couple of fish. There was an item here, but that's it. far as I can tell. So what about this place? This place sticks out like a sore thumb. I think I'm stumped. There's presumably some sort of interaction that has to happen with that shiny rock, but I don't know what it is. I think I'm probably gonna have to Google this, because I am legitimately stumped. I do not have any idea what they're looking for me to do. There's multiple pathways through this area. Yeah, there's two different things that you clearly are supposed to interact with in some way, but which I do not know the mechanism for that interaction. Okay, so I was supposed to just drag this thing to it. I was wondering about that. Oh god. Okay, so we've got a new boss.
Be careful!
Let's get it on.
Oh god, no!
Aiming device!
What?
Aiming device! Aiming device! Scatter beam! Scatter beam! Aiming device! Aiming device! Aiming device!
I don't know what kind of range this thing has.
Aiming device!
That is significant.
Aiming device!
Okay, well, I think I'm in deep shit. I can't outrun the lightning blade, so I think I'm pretty much boned here. Okay, so we know how to do it now, which is good. And we can probably take this sucker out. I don't think it'll be that bad, question mark. It'll depend. That move that it does there is really easily exploitable. And I might even be able to exploit it with, whatchamacallit? With some particularly aggressive tactics. So my basic hope here luckily this is actually substantially closer than the other one is. The other boss was much further away. Hello. I didn't hear my phone. If you sent a message. I'll finish this boss and then I'll end. Okay. So, this is our last attempt on this boss.
Don't let your guard down.
Let's hope that it goes well for us.
Aiming device. You're not getting away with this. Aiming device. Aiming device.
That is a lot of damage.
Aiming device. 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 I won't miss. Aiming device. Aiming device. Aiming device. Scatter.
Oh my god, I got it! I even got an achievement for it. Okay, so we got a crescent lotus, whatever that is. And hopefully we got a save point. I wonder what lies ahead. Crescent lotus. What a... New items. Which, for whatever reason, the crescent lotus is not showing up under. Where are you? So I supposedly got a crescent lotus. Oh, it's a skill for her. Okay, that's interesting. Is there a save point in here? Okay, so we just unlocked this area. So what we're going to do is we are going to pop out of here and we should be able to just blow this up. And now the hope is that we can actually get back. to where we're going. We want to get to the save point, and then we'll continue on with this place after that. Not after that. We'll continue on with this place next time. So we did manage to find our way to the next place, and it wasn't actually that complicated. It's bring the glowy thing to the vaguely glowing thing. That's not exactly rocket science. So we made it out of here. We can get to the save point. We can go pick up our party members because they have, of course, been horribly butchered. But that boss actually took fewer attempts than the other boss did. We just kind of made it explode a little bit faster. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to stream for you today. Finish up this little mini dungeon and continue on with the plot. I guess we'll have some other side quests that we have to do, but then we'll continue on with the plot. Later, folks.